everybody, today we're going to be talking about the NM2 from Ashdown, Nate Mendel's signature overdrive pedal. So the rig today is going to be a P-bass. I'll also use a Stingray at some point to show you what some humbuckers sound like through it. But for the most part it's going to be this P-bass, the NM2, my Ashdown, which has a 410 cab in another room, being mic'd with a Ashdown Origins and an Audix D6. So let's get started. I'm going to start you off on the red channel, which is the cleaner of the two. Here's the bypass. Alright, here's the red channel engaged. Alright, very subtle, just adds a little bit of grind. Next is going to be the green channel, the heavier of the two. Fucking crazy. I love this pedal. But there's a unique feature on this pedal. You can combine both channels into what they call an orange channel. But it's just simply both drives on together. So that's what this sounds like. Alright, now I'm going to plug in my Stingray so you can see what it sounds like with some humbuckers. Alright, so here it is with some humbuckers. Now my P-bass is tuned like a 5-string, so the low B will stay the same. Here's the red channel. as you heard, this thing is awesome. I love it. Very little complaints about it, not many, mostly praise. This thing is awesome. You know, compared to something like the dark glass pedals, which I have owned in the past, these kick their ass. Mainly because price point is so much lower. I think these are like $150 new. How about this used? But they do very, not similar things, they sound completely different, but equal in quality things. So this thing, it does have 2 channels. They are the same though. So like it's just the same kind of preamp unit in each side of the pedal. The only thing that is different on the green channel, you've got a 10 dB boost, which gives you more distortion. But other than that, they're the same channel, so you can just set them differently how you want. There is no EQ points on this pedal. There is no tone knob. There's no EQ points. I believe there is a built-in EQ, but honestly, I don't need an EQ. It sounds fucking awesome just the way it is. I will say, it is mainly built for P basses. I can kind of hear that in the just how the pedal sounds, which makes sense because it is Nate Mendel's signature amp. And that leads me to some of the negatives. It's a little too Nate Mendel specific. So like, as you can see, this pedal is stereo. You can have each drive channel going to a different amp, which he does use. And that makes it a little difficult to set up in a mono setting, like what I believe most musicians are using it for. It's not too difficult, but it does, require you to read the instructions. Like I said, there's no EQ points, so I don't have a problem with that, but I can see how like some people would. They like to EQ their bass very specifically. I wish there was a button to turn on both channels at the same time without having to do the kind of double foot stomp thing. I wish they had like a third button right here in the middle or somewhere else. Anyway, there's just a small gripe. One thing I do love is this meter feature. You can switch between seeing the output of the pedal and the input of the pedal, so you can dial in exactly how much distortion and output you have. That is fucking awesome because, as you could hear, the different modes of distortion sounded similar in volume, maybe slightly different, but for the most part they were the same. And that's because I used the meter to kind of fine-tune exactly what I needed. So that is awesome. Other than that, this pedal is awesome. It's built rock solid. All the little dip switches are in kind of this little channel, so like you're not going to break them. Which is, I've had problems with pedals that have like little dip switches on the top that sometimes they break. This is built rock solid. I don't think it's ever going to break. Seems pretty gig worthy. I will say, man, this thing is awesome. I love it. If you're looking for a bass overdrive pedal, try checking this one out. I love it so much. It's awesome. Can't have enough praises about it, man. I will say, if they ever do a version 2, which I don't think they will, but if they did, it'd be cool to add a DI, possibly. Add like a DI into it. Other than that, pretty cool, man. See you guys later. Peace.